I just wanted to talk a little bit today about my experience with the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind. There's going to be lots of spoilers in this. So if you haven't already played the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind main quest line, then probably don't want to continue watching this. And if you haven't completed the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind and you want to, again, you probably shouldn't watch this. Because I'm going to talk about both games and probably spoil major plot lines, but I don't want to be careful with what I say, so I'm just saying there will be spoilers, so now I can say whatever I want. I picked this up on release day, the collector edition in Steelbox, and I just haven't had a chance to play it, so it's been just sitting on the shelf collecting dust. And on Thanksgiving, I was like, you know what, I'm not doing anything tonight. After I came home visiting the family, I was like, I'm going to fire the sucker up. So I put it in, and the first thing, of course, there's going to be a 30 gig patch update. So I went ahead and let it download the patch, and I don't have a PSN Plus account, so I went to PlayStation Store and got a 2-week trial. I figured 2 weeks might be enough time to complete this. If not, then I'll just let the trial lapse and I'll pay for a month and I'll just go from there. So I'll just basically play it by ear. So Friday when I woke up, the update was complete and installed and all that other stuff. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just start it up on Friday. So I started up, and I've already played the Elder Scrolls Online a little bit back in, July or August, when they had the weekend free run. I went ahead and downloaded the game at that point and played with it that weekend. So I was up to about level 7 over that weekend course, and then the trial ended, and then you had to pay money for it. You had to pay money for PlayStation Now. So basically I just stopped playing. I put this in, and pretty much straight up first up, I just went directly to Vardenfell. Went to Sydney and started talking with people. I did a couple of just random, do-good quests. I was trying to figure out where does the main story start? Where does the main quest start? I didn't read the little message that it gives you. I didn't realize that there is, a line of, or a list of messages with updates and that kind of thing. So I went there and it told me to start the Morrowind quest line, go talk to so-and-so in Sydney, and I missed that. So, by the time I figured that out, then I went and talked to that guy, and he said to go to Vivek after I did a mission for him, and he said talk to Vivek and go from there. So I did his mission, and then after that I went and I talked to Vivek, and basically it starts the divine intervention, or whatever you want to call that quest line. And for the most part, it's a pretty cool quest line. This takes place, I don't know how many hundreds or thousands or whatever years before the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. So this is basically a prequel in the storyline. And so you go and you talk to Vivek, and he gives you quests, and you go do them. And there was he had a priest who was also there to give you quests and that kind of thing too. The one thing I will say I thought was interesting, the quest was heavily focused on this one guy says that he's there to fulfill the prophecy, or the Nerevarine, and so basically at some point it comes to find out that he's not the Nerevarine, and then it's your job to disprove him. And the entire time I'm playing that, I'm thinking this is really funny, because in the Morrowind, or Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, you get a message that from Azura that you may or may not be the Nerevarine, and then you're supposed to go and convince each of the tribes, and then convince each of the houses that you're the Nerevarine. And then basically after that you go and fight Dagoth and all this other stuff, and then come to find out you actually are the Nerevarine, which basically means that you're pretty much Jesus Christ. You're the walking embodiment of a living God. I thought that was kind of interesting, is the events of Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind focuses on somebody else who claimed that they're the Nerevarine, but they come to end up being just a heretic. And then it's your job to sniff them out of their heresy and defeat them. And so I thought that was really cool. The entire time they're like, he says he's a Nerevarine, but we don't know. And I'm like, he's not. I am. I've already done it. I've been there, done it. It's me. So I thought that was pretty cool. Probably the most helpful ability or whatever that it is that I found out was the siphoning abilities. And I thought those were the coolest abilities that were in the whole freaking game. It wasn't until you actually went to Scar, prove that character as being a heretic, and then I had to fight the first real legit person. And you were supposed to fight some Dunmer idiots. And so I fight them in 2 waves, 3 guys each wave. So I kill them pretty decently. And then there's this one bad mamma jam, and she comes out, and then you're supposed to go and kill her. And I spent a couple of hours, well, maybe not a couple hours, but many attempts to try to vanquish her, and fail. And finally I was like, I'm going to try some magic instead. So I start using the siphoning magic, and that actually ended up working really well. Like basically if you throw it at them, it drains their life and it comes to you. So basically I'm draining her life, and the entire time I'm draining her life, my life is staying at max because I'm absorbing her life and I keep on replenishing my life. I was like, this is the coolest freaking spell ever. And I don't know if Skyrim, Oblivion, or Morrowind had that spell. Because I don't really mess with magic all that much. My character is always born under the sign of the thief. And I'm just kind of all in the shadows, you know. I like to sneak up on people and slit their throat and that kind of thing. And that was why I was really heavy into the Morg Tong on the Elder Scrolls 3 and the Dark Brotherhood on the Elder Scrolls 4, because that was my thing, is sneaking up and slashing people's throats and getting out of there without being detected. So that was pretty cool. I was blown away. I mopped the floor with her after I discovered that, and that was basically my go-to spell for the rest of that quest line. I didn't really have much problem with anybody after I figured out how to properly use that. My main complaint that I'll make on the Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind is this sucker was short. I completed this in a day and a half. I completed this. I was going to say in 36 hours, but I wasn't even playing for 36 hours. So over the course of 36 hours of various play sessions, I was able to complete this game. It is ridiculously short. I would say probably overall, I probably sunk 9 to 12 hours into it, and I completely completed the entire quest line. So I was not prepared for the brevity of the Morrowind expansion. Now, I mean, there's tons of crap to do on the island. You know, you can go and talk to people and do this and that. And I'm also really looking forward to going to the mainland of Morrowind and walking around there, because that was something that you were only able to do with PC expansions on the PC side. You couldn't go to the mainland at all on the Xbox side, except for the capital city of Mournhold. You can go there, but you couldn't actually go to the island. You were only secluded to Mournhold, and then you could transport from Mournhold to Vardenfell, to Solstheim, Vardenfell, back to Mournhold. So this, I'm really anxious to go beyond the boundaries of Mournhold. And I thought it was really cool, the comparison of this to Morrowind on, the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind on PC and Xbox, was a lot of the time I would know directly where I need to go. Like, especially, I was like, I need to buy something. I go to Signing, went to the shop, and directly I'm doing transactions, which I didn't have to walk around or figure out where the shop was. I already knew where the shop was there. I knew where the shop was in Bramora, and I knew where different things were in Vivec. Vivec was a little tricky, though, because half the city isn't built. So several of the cantons are missing. They're still under construction. That shows how far back this game is a lot of the cantons in Vivec are under construction. There is no Caldera. Caldera doesn't even exist in the Elder Scrolls Online. There was a couple more cities that were not in here. I haven't seen Ebonheart. They made mention of it in one of the missions, one of the quests. They made mention of Ebonheart, but I haven't seen it. So I don't know if it's just a small little port, if it hasn't even been built up yet, or if it's seriously just not there. So I need to do some more exploring as far as that goes. I don't know if any of the ruins up on the northern island are even there. One thing I thought was kind of interesting is on the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, there's Daedric ruins all over the map. and 12 of which are teleportation areas where you can teleport around the island. So that's how you could do quick travel in the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind. You could either do Silt Striders, you could do boats, you could do the Mages Guild, and then you can do the Daedric Ruin teleportation devices. But you had to have a key to unlock each one of those, which was hard as crap to find all 12 keys. Once you do, then you can teleport around, and fast travel's a lot easier. But I noticed a lot of the Daedric shrines just aren't even present at all on the map, which is kind of weird because you would figure that these things would have been there for, thousands of years, or ruins in the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, and they're not even there on the Elder Scrolls Online. There's a couple that I ran into, but they weren't specifically titled, and they had chains and locks on the door, so I don't even think you can even get in, which is really weird. The team who developed Morrowind Online is clearly not the team that works on the real Elder Scrolls games, because there's locks on all kinds of doors, like a chain and a padlock, and I'm like, this is Morrowind. There would be a way in the store. It doesn't matter, because that was the thing that really intrigued me about Elder Scrolls games when I first discovered them with Morrowind, was pretty much every single door on the island, there's a way to get in. Either you can pick the lock, or you can kill somebody and take the key, or you can do a quest and you're given a key. But pretty much every single door that I knew of had some way through. And there's just a lot of doors that are just simply locked. So that was kind of weird. It was interesting to go to cities like Mulligmar and Telvas and things like that to see just how the high resolution graphics did. I was hoping to find the mud crab down south, or Scamp in Caldera, but again, Caldera's not even on the map. Mud crab may not even be there either, because it'd be nice to be doing some high dollar transactions. But I don't have much else to really say. I just wanted to talk about, this game is ridiculously short. Since I have so much more time now with the trial, I'm going to dig into the actual main quest with Morrowind Online just in general, and go through that, and probably do some side quests on Vardenfell and some side quests on Morrowind mainland as well, and do some more exploring there. Yeah, if you played it, leave a comment what you thought, what you liked, what you didn't like, etc. If you've played it and you've played Morrowind 3, how was the experience having all that knowledge? Because I suck hundreds of hours in the Elder Scrolls 3, and so going from that, mainly I just want to have a high resolution graphic experience. I just want to have a brand new experience to go back to Vardenfell. That was really what I wanted out of it, and that's what I got. Even though it was ridiculously short, it's still, I got what I was expecting, and what I wanted was more adventures on Vardenfell. So I guess I'll leave you guys to bring up any discussions if you want in the comments. So thanks for watching, and peace out.